Together for the first, which is the prize.
Hello again, everybody. I really just wanted this chance, because I know a bride doesn't usually get the chance, so just to say, on behalf of my ruggedly handsome husband, just thank you for being here today on this happiest of days to share in our wedding celebrations. We obviously couldn't squeeze everybody into Devonshire Gardens, but the turnout in the church today was just joyful.
Oh, amazing.
So many of our family and friends made it today, so thanks for that, guys, too. I'd like particularly to thank the Doran family, the clan, and particularly Andrew and Hayley, and Adam and Lisa and the boys. Excuse me, stop interrupt, this is mine. Just for welcoming me so warmly into their family, because I am now an official. And of course, yeah, Andrew and Hayley couldn't make it in person today. And obviously your brother, your sister Margaret and Archie over there in Australia. But I know you'll all be raising a glass to us just now and joining in these amazing celebrations. So cheers, guys, for that. It was a life changing for me the day I met Bill. But you all know. Heckling at that table.
You'll get sent home.
You all know our story, and I think you can understand why we feel it was actually meant to be. And I know there'll be a couple of heavenly glasses being raised just now, because Brian and Elaine will be just as happy that we actually found each other. I've always thought it was a shame that Bill never actually met my dad.
Yeah.
Because he would have loved you too. But not just for the man you are, Bill, but more especially for the way you love and take care of me and mine. So, thank you for that. Might not be a sparkling champagne. In fact, I don't think my dad ever had champagne in his life. But maybe a wee Tullamore Dew or a 12-year-old Bell's. So, cheers, guys, there as well. And finally, really, to my own three special Mackles, Jonathan, Ruth, and Jamie. How proud was I to be walking into the church with you today.
Yes.
You look after me and you look after each other. And it's absolutely amazing. And thank the Lord, Ruth, who is supposed to be in Hong Kong just now, but has been able to stay with us and keep us sane for these last...
Not successfully.
It was all right for a wee while, but it's kind of dipped in the last few weeks. But it's been amazing.
Yeah.
And good luck in Hong Kong, Ruth, and I know you'll absolutely love it. And just to reassure you, I have to say this, to coin a phrase, you're not actually losing a mum. You're gaining Bill. So, finally, could I ask you, I want to make the first toast, to be upstanding and on this happy day, which is all about family and friends.
Amen.
Could I ask you to raise your glasses to family and friends?
Family and friends.
Thank you.
Hi folks, I'm not going to keep this long.
Bill will do that.
I know, I've seen his book. And I'm not actually going to talk too long about Mum. There's nothing that I can say about Mum to her about her that she doesn't know. All it's done for me. I'd like to talk more about Bill and him coming into life. The first time I heard about Mum and Bill, I text my mum one night, just an attentive son, just checking in, and she said that she was at a gig at the Hydro. Oh yeah, with a gentleman. Which kind of took me aback. I used to stay next to the Hydro, and for the rest of the evening I stayed out on my balcony just in the hopes of catching a glimpse of him. So I could throw my shoes at him and tell him to keep her hands off my mum. Obviously I needn't have worried. Starway to maybe 3 or so years later, and Bill takes the three of us out. It's the first time that he's taken us out himself without Mum supervising. He took his go-karting, got his go-karting vouchers for Christmas.
Yeah,
and obviously Bill and Jamie can drive, Ruth and I can't, so we were shite. It was really sticking in my craw all the years of Mario Kart 64 that I'd put in. They were just going to waste. Cawed back. I thought I was getting somewhere, and then boom, Bill sideswiped me. He hit me that hard that the visor came off my helmet and flew off the course. And in my head he was laughing, and in his helmet he was laughing. I see him away, and at the end he came up, he said, "Oh, sorry Johnny," and shaking my hand, barely concealed grin in his face. So I didn't see you there. In my head I'm thinking, aye, well, you're not the man in this house yet, Bill. Obviously he was then as he is now, and even then, the first time I met Bill, I knew I'd likely be standing in front of you and making this kind of speech at some point.
Thank you.
I don't know if people can be deserving or love, or if they earn love, but there's no two people in the world that deserve or have earned the love and their happiness as much as they do, and I know everyone in this room would attest to the fact, and everything they've done for everyone here and everything they will do for everyone at some point in the future. And I know, like Mum said, my granddad was here and he'd say, "You've not done bad, Tish." And I know that he'd love Bill for the man that he is and the golfer that he isn't.
Have you been telling him, Frankie?
So that's, like I said, I don't want to keep you. I know everyone else has got lots to say and lots to hear and lots to eat and lots to drink. So I'd just like to toast to my mum and Bill, the happiest of happy couples.
Thank you.
Bill and life and love.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. This has been a challenging wedding. It's a different experience for me having all these boys here running about like absolute nutters, but I think everybody would agree that they were absolutely glorious at the church. Needless to say, I was rather surprised. Yeah, but I remember when my dad started, or he met Patricia. My dad had been going through a challenging time for the last while, and he had looked for a lot of solace in his faith and in God, and had went to church camp, of all places. And a lot of people go there, for meditation and for finding oneself. And my dad found a bird. So, needless to say, I was rather surprised, and so was my dad. He came back and he was like, I went there looking for solace in myself, looking to find who he was. And what he found was someone who made him happy. And it has been so glorious to see over the last 5 or so years how much my dad has changed from the person he was to the person he is now, where he is truly happy and that is because of Patricia and everything that she does for him, you know, and it's everything that she does makes him a better person, including the simple things like managing something that my brother and I have been trying for 30 odd years, which was to get him to walk outside without tucking his jumper into his trousers. And she managed this one. I don't know what she did, but thankfully for Patricia, she does so many wonderful things, including his fashion sense. But all I can really say is that the changes that I've seen in my dad are, well, life-changing quite literally. He's such a different character, such a different person, and it's all because of Patricia. The two of them are so wonderful together. I see them frequently enough to know that they're so happy together, they're so loving together, and it is truly wonderful to see. And all I would like to say is, if we can, please raise a glass to Bill and Patricia.
For those of you who don't know me, my name is Frankie Boyle. I'm
Head of the family.
the guy in the television. He's maybe 20 years younger than me. He's also called Frankie, but I was here twice. But last night, I haven't actually followed all the speeches that have been made already, but Doran and I go back a number of years, probably more so on the golf course than anything else, but I have to take, you said that somebody said that his golf isn't improving, but actually it is.
It's the worrying thing.
Yeah, he has the ball an awful long way actually, and so does our John, wherever he's sitting, and thank you, and his son Andrew. And I've been trying to keep up with these guys for the past 2 or 3 years, and I think I can, because it's just they're bigger and stronger than me, but they just hit the ball miles and miles. And the way he's trying to keep up with the difficult he gets, and I'm hooking and juking all over the place. But so he's certainly improving, and he is a decent golfer. So
Can I have that rain?
So you owe me one for that one, but no, he's certainly come in leaps and bounds. But just a couple of things that, of course, it's nice to meet the Doran family. I don't know all of you, but certainly I read Anne-Marie this morning, and that was an experience. Framed you, but I do apologise. So it's nice to meet the Dorans, because I really don't know you very well, but other than Andrew, who, in case I say Adam, I do apologise, you know that Adam and Andrew are your sons, you know, and I've played golf with Andrew.
You need to take up golf.
Yeah, he also has the ball enough along with me. Maybe it's just me that I kind of grew up with these guys.
Sorry,
It's a Magdalene, it's not a Boyle either, but I'll get you back for that one. But if you notice the lady at the front of the Mass this morning, in front of the chapel, that was my mum who was sitting on her left-hand side in the wheelchair and with the hat on. I think she's known as the person with the hat. She's always got these concoctions that she manages to get. But if I go back a number of years, that Patricia, as you probably know, took early retirement from her teaching. She's a primary school teacher, deputy head in St Teresa's in Muir's Hill. And my mum was, she wasn't well, and she had dementia, and she was really in failing health, and we really weren't sure, you know, what was happening, and she was moving between Worcester General Hospital and Strathclyde Hospital, and she was beginning to fail in health actually, and she wasn't well, and in hindsight's a wonderful thing, and Patricia decided that there was no way that she was going to stay in the hospice or the hospital, and she took early retirement from her job and went to, took my mum home with her, and has been looking after my mum ever since. And Mum's looking great, actually. She looks about 20 years younger than me.
you.
That was him, see, that was me, it was him.
Thanks, Jonathan. But I know Bill's been a big part of my mum's life.
Definitely.
In the last couple of years, 3-4 years, whatever, more than that perhaps. And I mean, I know that you might think that we really take you two guys for granted, and it's maybe it's an impression that we give, but we're really eternally grateful for all you've done, and including Ruth and Jonathan and Jamie. She's staying with my mum, and they're kind of looking after her. And my mum's coming on leaps and bounds. She's obviously dementia, but she's looking well, and she's she's not giving.
She's got cheeky moments.
She still does the old sing along a bill and a song. But it keeps her going, and she's watching old films like, God knows.
The Quiet Man.
And I think it's kept her going. I like to think, if she hadn't stepped in, I mean, I know hindsight's a wonderful thing, so I think the family will be eternally grateful for what you've done, and my mum's still around and she's still doing very well, so I think it's something that we really should say thank you for, and we really are grateful for that. But Bill and I were playing golf at John, and this is when he asked me if I would kind of like to say a few things at the wedding, because I think I was standing over a 10-foot putt for the wedding. And he said, would you like to see something we used at the wedding? And I missed the putt. I lipped out. And I said, I'm delighted to be here. I'm delighted to be kind of saying things. But when I was at Glasgow Uni, as most of us were, some of us were anyway, we used to talk about one Devonshire Gardens, and it was like, what's that way up there? One day I was like, this is for pop stars used to go. I know Michael Jackson stayed here. I googled it. I know George Clooney stayed here. And I said, do you see that I sent you a text? Do you see the text I sent you?
No.
No, I sent it.
For so many.
What's it called?
What's that?
What's that?
So I sent it on WhatsApp, and John got it. Right? I got it. You got it. And it was George Clooney walking up the front steps.
Oh, I did see it.
Of one Devonshire Gardens, and I put it at the bottom of it. Now that we know we've made it. So I thought, hey, that's neat. And then John got back to me 2 seconds later and said, yeah, but it's all downhill from here. I don't mean you guys. I mean, how can you actually beat this?
He didn't mean it.
He didn't mean it. It's been a great day. But I was watching the golf last night. It was coming from Dubai, Bill, John. And it was a floodlight golf course, and I'm thinking maybe
thinking ahead.
Patricia lets you out for a couple of weeks, for a week or so. I think it's 15,000 a head, so that might just beat that, But I don't know. But listen, I've formed a close relationship with Bill, and obviously John, and everybody wants to play golf, especially if they come from a golf course that they like and they can't really play on. Like Michael is kind of golf hearts, actually. We're a decent golf course. But listen, it's been a great day. And
More to come.
There's more to come, I know, and I do appreciate that. We have a few beers from her already. I haven't even seen the room yet, actually. You've been on that. One of you checked in, took all the bags upstairs, and I went to the bar. She didn't go to the bed. I'll get there eventually. Just to finish off, I know that I think Amini mentioned like Brian, who Brian was a very close friend of mine, actually. I can tell you stories about Brian actually, but that's another day. And Elaine, Bill's wife, first wife. I didn't know Elaine, but there are a number of people here that can't be here today because of various reasons. Obviously, Mum is at home, and the nurses are looking after and doing a wonderful job. But I'd just like to finish off by asking you to stand up and to close a toast to absent loved ones. And I mean Bill's family in Australia, and also Andrew
Healy.
Thank you. Thank you.
That is age
So,
thing.
it's an age thing, but I'd just like to close a toast to absent loved ones.
Absent loved ones.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Well done, Frankie.
So I'm going to be short this week. Definitely not going to do it too long. So just good afternoon or good evening to ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, Mr. and Mrs. Doran. So my voice is not as loud as yours, please. I just wanted to say, on behalf of all of us, how happy and how that you two have now got married, you've tied them on. We were so happy for you. And to me being so far down the list, I thought by the time they get to me, my speech will be driven by everybody else. And there is one or two things that have been said, but we'll be saying it again. So first of all, I'd just like to reiterate what Frankie said about how hope you appreciate how much that we appreciate you two and everything that you do for Mum. She's living her best life, and it's down to you two and everything that you do. And it's not just that you do it, but you do it with such love and care and just so willingly. There is nothing ever too much for you. And it's a testament to the generosity of your spirit and the things that you do. And it is absolutely wonderful. We just love you for it. We do it anyway, we love you for that.
Thank you.
And also, to say what I think it was Jonathan or Tricia, no, Trish said, I just wish as well that my dad could have met you, because he was all beautiful. And he, I'm not doing that.
Shut up, Joe.
But just, he would be so happy, and it's so sweet to see that Tricia was so happy she had you, Bill, that would not only look after her, and the two of you would have this new life together. You can grow old together. Older. It's just so wonderful. He would have been like the ultimate accolade would be that he would have loved you. He would have approved big time.
Thank you.
So
that means a lot.
no, I honestly, I've told you that before. But for you to just everything that you do, and you're just so suited. You know, there's never been any another couple that I've ever met that's so suited. On the other side, it's about time you two, now that the like coronavirus is kind of going away a little bit, and we've all been double vaccinated, we need you back to come around with us for the weekends. So let's face it, I can't keep these three under control by myself. you know how sensible these three. But we have been doing a lot more walking when you've been not there, and we've been going away. We've been doing a lot more walking.
Good.
Not quite as when you have what was that, sorry? To the pub. Well, no, that's after we've done the walking. We've done the walking first. And remember we went to Annika months and months ago,
yeah.
and we did that wee walk, and you had we went again, You couldn't find the path. You were in a children's swing park just
It's close enough.
and then we did eventually find the path, but we forgot how steep it was and rocky it was.
Yeah.
And then rain came on. Oh my god. But we did do it, so we need a bit more direction.
I'll be there.
So as soon as we're back on it again and we'll get you back, the two year back.
Definitely.
And just to finish off, as I said before, I don't think I've ever seen a couple more suited than you two. And if ever there's a marriage made in heaven, and maybe it has been, it's you two. So I'd like to wish you both a long, happy, healthy life together. And if you could all just stand up and
Can you hear me?
Yay!
That was me talking about it. Sorry. Can you hear me?
Are you saying you can hear me?
This is what you're doing.
This is fine.
Can you hear me? Am I on now? Hi everyone. Okay. Sorry about the slight technical hitch, but it wouldn't be a Zoom meeting without someone saying, am I still on mute again? So look, it's been a pretty amazing day from what we've seen at our end. It looks fantastic so far. I can see people waving. But we're really sorry we can't make it in person, but it's been brilliant seeing everyone throughout the day. Getting all the waves on camera has been far, far too long since we've seen family, to be honest. And now, to those in my extended new family that I've never really met before, William's eldest son, stuck here in Singapore for maybe a little bit longer. But after hearing everyone during these speeches, I'm even more excited to meet you all, and when Haley and I get to come over to the UK and finally meet everyone. But maybe I guess we'll see Ruth in Hong Kong first before everyone is actually in the UK. So look, I know everyone is probably fatigued and dying for dinner, and probably hates listening to Zoom calls anymore if you're anything like me. So best man speeches, I guess, like, never something I thought I'd have to do for my dad. I've done a couple of friends, but never really thought about it and how to prepare. To be honest, I struggled to moderate the number of stories I could share about him. I'm sure that comes as a little surprise to everyone in the room. But before I get into that, and as many people have said throughout these speeches, just I want to say how amazing it's been seeing my dad meet and fall in love with Patricia. From the very first time that Haley and I properly met them both together, when they visited York, we spent all night eating great Italian food, drinking great Italian wine, being told by the Italian waiter what we should and shouldn't eat, and scoffing multiple limoncellos at the end of the night. We knew that they were absolutely perfect together, and that she made him incredibly happy. Now you guys are married, and you're clearly fantastic together, and we know that you have many more happy years ahead of you.
So I just want to say a formal welcome, Patricia. I know you mentioned it there before and everyone has said it, but yeah, we love having you as part of our family, and I'm sure we'll equally love having your extended family as part of ours as well. So, researching Son's best man speeches, a lot of advice about keep it clean, don't embarrass your dad, and just generally say nice things. So I'm sure I'll definitely get to these nice things. Let's just start with a few interesting reminders. Anyone who's unwell, quite a quiet person, very low key, doesn't like the limelight, and never tells a story more than once. I saw the limousine on the video and the photos that someone sent us, I think that really sums up how low key he really is. So I'll start with a couple of stories that sum up perfectly. I promise I'll finish with some nice words and then you can all have your food. So many years ago, my best friend from Scotland, Ants, was getting married to his wife, Narelle. Blistering hot day in Scotland, and after the ceremony and many beers, we were all getting on the dance floor and getting very hot, very sweaty, and I was getting very hot, very sweaty. And Wales only lived about 8 miles away, and I thought, okay, I'll quickly message my dad and say, look, any chance you could come down, bring in a spare shirt for me, and casually, secretly change into a spare shirt because I was getting a little bit embarrassed about the sweat patches. Of course, all good. He said yes, he's exactly the type of father that he's always been. As soon as we need him, he drops things and he's there. As they arrived, my mum sent a message saying we're downstairs, and I thought, yeah, I'll sneak down, secretly change, all seamless, back to the wedding, back to the party. What actually happened though was my dad decided to come in the reception, up the stairs, through the main dance floor, in front of all the people celebrating and dancing, walking through this, carrying my shirt on a hanger. I'm going to change a shirt for you. Still, as a young man at that point, absolutely mortified. I really did not help with the additional sweat patches that were already the transaction that I was hoping for. It doesn't really do subtle very well, because my dad, but his heart is always in the right place. And to be honest, looking back, I never actually thanked him for going out his way helping me that day, so here's a belated thank you. And then the other story I thought I wanted to share really was Christmas 2011. It was our turn to be up in Scotland for Christmas Day, so Hayley and I would take turns. We'd go to Lancashire for her parents and up to Scotland for mine, and as soon as we have a family get together, my dad just loves playing host. He was always messaging about the grand plans for the day. Lunch would be at 2 p.m, separate printed menus for everyone. People could select the courses they wanted, wines to match. Of course there was sorbet, there's always sorbet, as you know on your menu. Wow, we were super excited, super impressed, especially when it was going to be 7 or 8 of us, plus our dog Bruno joining. So after a 5+ hour drive up from York, because the weather was pretty rubbish, Christmas Eve we thought we'd get there ready to relax with some sherry, and Christmas morning and presents and the feast could begin. Not quite the way it went really. So we arrived about 7 or 8 o'clock that evening, and literally nothing was done. The tomatoes for the famous tomato soup were in the pot, but not cooked. All the ingredients were by the side. I went into the fridge to get a beer after the long journey, and turned to my dad and said, where are the vegetables or the pigs and blankets and things? And his response was, oh yeah, we'll just nip down to Tesco and collect all these things. And I thought, this is Christmas Eve or 8 p.m. Not quite the best time to start doing your shopping for the next day. So anyway, I hot footed it down 9 p.m. on Christmas Eve, bought as many questionable vegetables as I could, and the parsnips were a bit wonky. That was all that was left, and maybe a handful of sprouts, but it worked. Got up the next morning, 7:30, started cooking. Cooked for about 4 hours solid, Adam arrived then later, and then we spent another 4 hours sweating over the cooker, preparing this Christmas dinner. Not quite the well-planned banquet we were expecting, except for the lovely printed menu. Kept this diet. Horses here ourselves for our own. To be honest, in reality, it turned out to be one of the best days that we've had. Everyone chipping in and helping each other out. And look, despite these hitches, my dad's heart is always in the right place. Always looking to go out of his way to make something really special for us. And my dad is simply the most genuine and generous man I've ever met, but often just a little bit disorganised. Anyway, I promise I won't too much. I won't mention things like gardening in his best trousers, telling the same stories over and over again, and yes, Dad, we know you had to go to school every alternate day because you were so poor that you could only afford one pair of shoes. We know. And I definitely won't bring up you booking the wrong flights to Italy. To fix it. And then booking the wrong flights again. I definitely won't be bringing these things up during this speech. But, Dad, you've been a truly wonderful dad to Adam and me, and to Hayley and Lisa, and to all my friends. Think the world of you as Big Bill D, and all the family know you as Uncle Bill or Uncle William. And look, sons are biased, right, I guess. But the strong appreciation in this room, alone from everything I've heard, and appreciation in the general public too, as many know, my dad used to run the local youth club for 20 plus years, and if anyone has tried to walk down any street or any supermarket within a 20-30 mile radius of Curlib, will know it's impossible to go anywhere without someone coming up and saying hi or wanting to chat to him. He's properly like a local celebrity, which I admit is pretty cool if you're his son. I've not lived in Scotland for maybe about 18 or so years now. You can blame Lee, who's in the room today, actually, for that. But you've always been there, Dad, to support me when things are hard or I felt just a bit broken. You've been my biggest supporter since the early days of this photo when I won my first trophy at karate, and all the way through until these days, right now. You always tell me how proud you are of me, and that makes a massive difference. It's now my turn to say how proud I am of you, and thank you so much for everything you've done. Congratulations on this special day, and we wish you all the best in your marriage. And we can't wait to celebrate in person and have us belated stag do that I promised you. So with that, I will raise a toast. This is champagne glass of iron brew. My dad and Patricia, a toast to the bride and groom.
Anybody that wants a comfort break, go now.
You ever be again? No, not that one. Bigger one.
You're all right. You still got orange juice. Stop it. That's the middle now. Finish it. That's the middle now. No, no. I don't want you to kill it. You don't need that hand, you don't need that cup. No, you don't need to take your time. The good thing about having Rory, he can take hands for people. Hopefully those days will come back. I know he does. Logan, you're too big. You are too big for underneath the table. Come on out. Yeah, they were like, oh, it's food time. I'm like, no, your pals still got to speak. Oh.
Yes, please. Thank you.
You forgot to bring your speaker. That was me.
Your table and your bag to your laptop. Brilliant, thank you. Cheers. Because I could not remember what it was.
I don't even realise you got sugar. You were just going to stand up and say, just let your toast. It's like I've done Andy's doing it. But then Andy just like 2 days ago, and I was like, I've done this, I've done that. You're like, you've done.
I should start with.
An online career. Do you know what's even you just just like this.
Yeah, you get it. He's a really similar in your eyes.
Really, honestly, literally, I have never seen that. Just that little millisecond.
That's a good thing.
Literally, kind of on that kind of. I don't know, it was like everything.
You know, David.
That makes a change for me
David,
too.
is there anyone that done that to me under it?
And I just,
So funny.
And I was like, I didn't say it for once. Oh, yeah, right. Yeah.
Sweets up top. We needed the big spoon. Really for the best dessert with those pies.
I know.
It doesn't have like a deadly spoon.
Yeah,
Well, they don't have like
like
a... They don't have like a per se, so they just got a large suite with what they call a zen.
They have like a adjoining room because they were able to know what they get there.
Ladies and gentlemen, for our final speech, can we please put our hands together for the group?
Wow. First of all, this is definitely the best wedding I've ever been at. Lots of thank yous and lots of toasts have already been given, and I'm certainly going to be giving a few more, maybe a repeated one or two, but very, very worthy one or two as well. I start by, first of all, thank you to Jonathan and to Adam and to Frankie and Anne-Marie and to Andrew, my son, away in Singapore. So wonderful that you've done that, son, and thank you. We will treasure them. We will treasure this moment forever as a great memory of our wedding day. So thank you to all of you that made the speeches. I put this bottle of champagne here just as a wee sort of game. So during my speech, I want anyone to shout out the well-known film from a well-known quote that I will mention somewhere in my speech. So whoever shouts out first gets the bottle of champagne.
Can we not just do nearest the hole?
Well, and as our golfing colleague would say that one, forget that. Now, I did have a speech ready for this occasion, and I prepared long and hard in doing so. But of course, now that I'm married, I'm a married man, Patricia has insisted that I read the one that she has written for me.
This is all Bill.
So who would have thought on this very special day that in my life that I would be so blessed and so fortunate to meet two wonderful people who have both given me such love and affection, coupled with tolerance and understanding, not to mention an abundance of joy and laughter, and not to forget the good guided advice that I've also had along the way. And yes, you know who I'm talking about, my golfing buddies, Frankie and John. Frankie and John. I would have also mentioned Michael, but it doesn't fit with two, with three, so. You've all heard the story about the bride who dreams of her wedding day. But I have dreamt of this wedding day too. Patricia and I worked hard and put our heads together to plan our wedding, from the venue to the caterer, to the suits and the dress. A lot of work was put into this wedding, and we prayed for beautiful weather, which we did get. Good health for all of us, and for our guests to arrive safely, which they did. But at the end of the day, the only thing that I could make my wedding day perfect was getting to stand next to the woman I love so very much. Before our Lord, so that I could exchange wedding vows with her. And at the end of the day, that's all that really mattered. And now we are here before all of you as husband and wife. Therefore, my wife and I would want to thank you from the depths of our hearts, and all who cannot be with us today, for celebrating with us and of joining two well-grounded families. They've been mentioned before. I know that our two families share a common bond of good upbringing and hard work ethics from our parents that in so many ways have contributed to this marriage today. So yes, like before, no need to stand, because we're standing up and down all the time. So to Patrick Boyle, to Bridget Boyle, to William Doran, and to Catherine Doran, and our stepfather Pat Conley, and all our mums and dads out there, we toast you and we thank you for your gift to us, to mums and dads.
There are some other very special people that cannot be with us today. Firstly, my son and my daughter Andrew and Hayley. What time is it? Oh, it's almost time for meal. I'm only doing this because Andrew got me a lovely watch, and he said you better show it. So here it is, Andrew. Thank you, Hayley. Now, I know that you'll be sad not to be with your dad and new mum Patricia today, but every step I take today, and every word we have said today, you have been beside us, Andrew and Hayley, every moment. When we do get together either in Singapore or here in Scotland, then we will celebrate together again, big time. To my little sister Margaret and her husband Archie in Australia, oh how I long to give you a hug, Margaret, and play a game of golf with Archie. But the time will come soon for that. So again, another toast. Please remain seated. You're all with us, Andrew, Hayley, Margaret and Archie, in a special way, and so we drink to you. Andrew, Hayley, Margaret and Archie. Cheers. Give them all a wave. You know, my family know me so well that they had a book running if I would tear up during my speech. So to ensure that I didn't lose money, I put some money on myself. To my darling youngest son, Adam.
She lost that one.
No, I bet against me. Thank you for being my best man, and thank you, Andrew, for too. And I thank you for constantly being there. For your support and guiding words, Adam, as our marriage approached, were most welcomed. You are so profound in the things, in the words that you say, son, and I love you so dearly. It equally applies to my son, Andrew. He gave some amazing words to me today. And all those stories, by the way, are rubbish. They're just he made them up. So to my son, Andrew, in Singapore, I love you dearly too. No father could ask for two great sons like you two. So thank you. And a toast at that wedding would never be complete without also recognising a beautiful lady who has journeyed with Patricia over these past few months. She's a wonderful daughter and has supported her mum towards this day. So much so, and even helped me to pick out my suit as well. So on this occasion, can I ask you to raise your glasses and stand once more for Adam and Andrew and Patricia's bridesmaid, her daughter Ruth. Adam, Andrew and Ruth. And now to an important one, to Jonathan and to Ruth and to Jamie. I love your mum dearly, and I promise to protect her, to care for her, to cherish her, and to love her until my last breath. And I know that that protection, care and cherished love is extended to each of you as well. You are all beautiful children, and I'm privileged to become part of your family. I started my speech by mentioning two special people, Frankie and John. and now Patricia and I do so again. Our lives have been shaped by the people that we have loved along the way. And on this day, We recognise the love that we together have shared with them in a special way. It's right and proper for Patricia and I to recognise Elaine and Brian, our first husband and wife, because they are part of who we are now.
Yeah.
And once again, please be upstanding for Elaine and Brian. Elaine and Brian. Almost there, guys. Dinner is coming. Now, as we all know, relationships can be very puzzling. Take celibacy, for example. This can be a choice or a condition imposed by many factors. Now, Patricia and I, whilst attending our marriage preparation course, Patricia and I listened and read the facilitator's questions of, it is so very important that husbands and wives know the things that are important to each other. The facilitator turned to all the men and asked, can you each name your wife's favourite flower? I leaned over and touched Patricia's arm gently and whispered,
What is it?
Self-raising, isn't it? Thus began my life of celibacy. In getting to know Patricia, I found that she is constantly reminding me that she is low maintenance. However, she does keep me busy, for her mum Bridget, God bless her, I love her dearly, thinks I'm the gardener, the handyman, the decorator, the plumber, the electrician, and has been even heard to say on several occasions, what's he up to now? Low maintenance, or not at all. Sorry, I got that wrong. Low maintenance or not all. I got that wrong again.
Too many coasts.
All right. Low maintenance or not. All I know is that you complete me. I think Tommy got it. What did you say? What did you say? Jeremy Maguire. Come and get your ball. Come and get your ball. But on a serious note, it is lovely to see so many of you here, particularly those of you who had to travel many miles. Linda and Tommy, all the way from London. Lee and Pauline, my other daughter from York. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here. I love expressing to Patricia how I feel about her and about us, but sometimes the words do not match the inner feeling. So, cause I feel that when I'm with you, it's alright. like they know the score. And I love you, I love you, I love you like never before. This is yours.
Just hum.
Please sing along. Please sing along. Boys, sing along, okay? To you, I would give the world. To you, I'd never be cold, 'cause I feel that when I'm with you, it's all I know it's right. And the songbirds keep singing like they know the score. And I love you, I love you, I love you like never before, like never before, like never before. And now, anybody wants my autograph afterwards, let me know. And now, before I close, I must mention one other person who has been a stalwart of support and strength to Patricia over many years and was always there for her to lend an ear and a shoulder when needed. And that someone is our bestie Sheila. You're a special lady to Patricia and I, Sheila, and we love you dearly.
Hear, hear.
And finally, I would personally like to thank my lovely, beautiful wife, Patricia, for having me as her husband. We are truly, truly blessed to be together, and we firmly believe that it was meant to be. I consider myself the luckiest man to be married to such a wonderful woman, and I always will. I cherish every moment I spend with you, Patricia, and I look forward to spending the rest of our lives together. Now I should be upstanding for Mrs. Patricia Doran.
Cheers.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Let the food be served.